You're listening to Bleed TV, the only podcast of today's best shows and movies. I'm Zach.
And I'm Cash.
And tonight we got Chapter 15, Episode
9.
209.
Season 2. You know, we like to make things confusing for everybody.
Well, I'm going to start trying to sneak the chapters in there.
Okay.
You know, they've been doing a point to put that on the screen. I feel like we've been slacking and have not been doing our part to put that up. So
That's fair. Well, I mean, I actually had to do a little bit of math before we started this to make sure 15 was right.
I was like, it was.
Yeah.
Before I felt like a jackass. But
let me drop the one finger, the pinky goes down. And
easy with your fingers. Okay. So this one was what? Nightingale Sings No More?
Sings No More.
Okay.
The only time I've ever heard Nightingale is from Skyrim. So if you've got a better guess. Maybe Tilda, but
maybe Tilda. Could be
Widow?
Bajie. It could be a couple different things. I really can't say definitively on anything.
No,
it's one of those great mysteries. You know, maybe I started need to Google this. Like, anybody have a clue?
Yeah, one of the great title mysteries of Into the Badlands.
Yeah, yep. So, overall impression of the episode.
I really enjoyed it. Highly entertaining. Some of the worst acting that made me laugh really hard. And all in all, great episode.
One of my favorite this season. One of my favorite. There was a little bit of acting like, really? But, I completely forgot about it because this was an episode that really kind of shook up the whole dynamic of where you thought this was going to go.
We moved the chessboard around a lot.
Man, yeah. I mean, like, people were dropping off and being put back on. And,
yeah.
You thought there was alliances, and now there's not, and it's gone back to individuals. And, I mean, my man Quinn has got some good luck because nobody seems to get organized against him good enough.
No, and I'm not quite sure if anyone really wants to. Because it still means you have to fight Quinn. And fighting Quinn just has not worked out.
Seems like it's a bad bet.
Yeah, and for being a rat in the hole, he has a lot of aces up his sleeve.
He does. He does have some advantages. There is no doubt. Let's just dive into the episode and we'll cover a few of those. It starts right off and wastes no time to let you know who
20 years ago
and to go ahead and solve the riddle of who Flea was.
So how old is Widow, are we supposed to imagine?
Well, if in that image of what she looked like, I was guesstimating an 8-year-old child.
Yeah.
And
so I was guessing anywhere from like 8 to 13.
Yeah. Well, he said she was tinier than normal
and
all that kind of stuff. So I'm not going to say over 10. I'd be shocked if she's over 10.
No, and I mean, I agree with that. But like,
worst case scenario, let's say she's 10. 20 years later means that the widow's 30 years old.
True.
Then which completely plausible.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen, I mean, what Jade got married probably in Showtime at like 18 or so. So
yeah. So.
But I mean, Bajie was in love with her. So are we supposed to change how we view love? Like he loved her like a daughter? Because that became really creepy really fast. Well,
here's the thing about that. All right, she's in a chest. Cool special effects to blow the lock off of it, blow holes through a door, and all that stuff like that. Thought that was pretty freaking cool.
Well, and he finds the little sheath, and he's like, "I wonder if that came with a."
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. There we go.
Well, of course, the little butterfly logo on the the deal, and which immediately tells you, okay, we figured it all out. And he talks about the Book of Azra, and he talks about all that stuff, and so it definitely does a lot of connection points. Kudos to the child actor who looks very similar to the widow.
I mean, it looked like we took Emily Beecham's face and put it on a child actor.
Right. So I thought that was really, really cool that they went the extra mile on that. It just the whole thing looked good. I mean, even Nick Frost. I mean, he had the look. 20 years younger. All that looked.
I think he had like a little bit fuller hair and everything.
He did. They got a little bit of the gray, a little bit. I guess they couldn't do the special effects to make him look skinnier.
No.
You know what I mean? Because they make a point in the other episodes
to say like he's plumped up. Yeah.
He was just as healthy as he is now.
He still hadn't missed a meal.
And so I was kind of surprised they didn't do a little bit that. It was a little disappointing, actually.
That confused me a little bit because they had made it a big thing to be like, hey, you've gotten pretty fat and slow.
Exactly. And so I think this would have been good money to make him look like, put his head on another body or do something to make him
just a little bit thinner.
Yeah. like it shows that he's lost a little edge.
Yes. But my main problem with the fight scene was he was like, it took all three of us to take you down. That's not normal. And then at no point when he's fighting her is he scared.
No, and it's just a simple, I'm going to stick my arm between two swords and hit you with a thumb in the neck, and you immediately decapacitate.
But it was a good fight scene.
Even the little mini swords like she carries now. Mm-hmm. And I was kind of like, did they go too far with trying to make this like... We knew it was the damn widow before you pulled the swords out.
But, this was also one of the things where they were actually letting her do it. They weren't beating us over the head with words. They were just showing us through all the props and stuff. So I'm okay with it. But like you said, a little too far.
It was a touch much. But, for that novice out there that just didn't put two and two together, I just didn't see the swords being like, oh, look, it's her, because of swords. You know what I mean?
But I mean, when she pulled them out, I was like, oh, she is dual blade. So
yeah, so we'll go that route. But like you said, I mean, he was completely like, and then just gives a little thumb to the neck, and she's down, and then gives her a couple little shots to the chest there, and
and resurrects her, no problem.
Exactly. And
let me ask you this: do you think he's using some kind of magic when when the abbots are turning off the power, or are they just hitting a pressure point? Like, do you think Sonny could do this?
I don't think so. I think it's a learned art.
Okay.
Is what I'm thinking. We've only seen abbots do anything like that, so that's what I'm guessing. My new curiosity is that what caused her to lose her power? As Minerva.
Yes. I mean, did they take it from her?
Yet,
did she lose it like MK? There's some intriguing questions that can be asked.
So it's going to be interesting to see how that unfolds. But hey, it's good. It makes sense. I was happy they didn't waste any time and they got right to it.
And I will say, for Jake, since he's not here, rest in peace. His fantastic fan theory that Flea was MK's mother. We can put that one to bed.
yeah.
When you come here for solid A1 predictions.
Yeah,
you're coming to the wrong
There's
pod.
a reason he didn't come tonight. I understand he had a work-related thing, but
kind of like an ostrich.
I think we knew we were going to barbecue him.
Oh, yeah.
For his god-awful predictions.
Playing a little ostrich, head in the sand.
So it cuts away, and you immediately get to see the widow current, and she's talking to MK, and we get the whole... did you ever figure out the book? Together we can get our powers back, and MK has got nothing to do with it.
Yeah, he wants no part of having these powers back, and I don't blame him. Not one bit.
Yeah, I mean, well, if it's not controllable, and you've seen that you'd be able to kill so many other people, and you believe you've killed your own mother, I'm good.
I'll just learn how to fight, and it'll be fine.
Yeah, really. Let's keep training, Sonny. Mm-hmm. Let's just keep training. So... yeah, I'm with you. Unnecessary. And unless the widow has some way of saying that, yes, I know how to control it 100%, well, the abbots know how to control it. You know? And so she's looking at a book for Azra, but maybe she needs to be looking at something for the abbots to be able to control it.
I think it's just training.
Maybe so.
And I mean, because it's just interesting that her, Bajie, and MK have all lost the power.
Right.
And then, like you said, there's no way for... MK to learn how to manage his power without doing all the training and stuff. So it's real danger.
There's no way to test that he's been able to do it if he doesn't have the power.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a catch-22. All right, so Bajie's out in the woods, and his grand plan to get into the widow's lair is to beat himself up and run into a tree.
Yeah, I don't understand. Why not just go in fully healthy?
Why not just walk up to the gate and do your BS job?
Yeah.
To get in? I thought it was kind of like... I felt like it was put in to be humorous, not really to be effect for the show. Does that make sense? Like,
if so, I think it fell flat. Like, I wasn't laughing at him punching himself or running head first into a tree.
How can we get Nick Frost the opportunity to be funny in this?
Yeah.
And it almost felt like it was improv.
Maybe.
Slightly. You know what I mean?
But that's a lot of leeway with improv.
It is.
But I mean, you give someone like Nick Frost that improv if they want it.
Right.
Well, how do you feel about his grand scheme, especially like as it unraveled throughout the episode? Because that really made no sense to me.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Bajie, Nick Frost, like that. His character has turned into a turnoff for me. Like, I know what they're trying to do. Like, they're trying to make him untrustworthy and like he's got a hidden agenda and all that kind of stuff. But they're sprinkling him in instead of doing what they did before, which was when he was a character on the show.
Mm-hmm.
He was fun, entertaining. He was a part of it. His dialogue was strong, all that kind of stuff. Now that he's just like, in this episode, he was sprinkle here, sprinkle there, and it was just like his little catchphrases.
Yeah, they're trying to tie him into too many storylines instead of just giving him his own storyline.
Exactly. Well, he's been hooked to Sonny forever, and now that they're separated, it just doesn't have the same dynamic. And, like, think about it. This whole episode, he's by himself, and then he saves Sonny, and Sonny's gone.
Yep.
And then he goes to get MK, and he gives the same line that he gave to Minerva when she was little.
And like that automatically sends sensors. So you're like, whoa.
Yeah, and so that's all you got. I don't know. There was a lot about his episode that turned me off, which I think is turning a lot of people off for the character itself.
Yes.
So yeah, that whole situation is kind of
But then he runs up to the gate, and this was the terrible acting that I was talking about.
It was. I mean, I think I can imagine it's probably pretty damn hard to make yourself act like you're being cheesy to get in, but it just didn't develop.
No,
well.
and like this laugh, just ha ha ha. Is anyone looking? No, are we laughing? Do we feel pity?
Yeah,
ha,
he's
ha,
like,
ha.
go ahead and do what you must, and then he looks down, and then he's, I don't know.
Like I was cackling at it because it was so bad, not because it was funny.
Yeah, I'm with you.
And
I kind of cringed. It just wasn't my cup of tea.
No.
If anything, you cut that 5 minutes out and just have him slip by a guard who's not looking.
Exactly.
I mean, the BS thing was almost a waste of 5 minutes, or whatever minutes it was of an episode that was pretty freaking stellar.
Or almost like we just change it and just have him scream Minerva, or just be like, "Hey, I'm here to see the widow."
Right.
Like, I mean, we knew she was going to catch him anyway. Like we knew that they were going to meet this episode, so I didn't see the point of him trying to be all.
Yeah, and like when we get to the end, I have a real beef with the whole scenario. So, it cuts back to MK and Tilda, and this is the moment you're thinking, well, maybe we're gonna get a little smoochy. Instead, we get the breaks.
Yeah, I thought we were about to be full steam at go.
MK might have been leaning in and got denied.
Yeah, friend zone. Here you go. Good luck getting out, MK. Let us know if it's possible.
Yeah, Odessa, the ultimate cock block, arrives in the background, which, you see her early.
Yes.
And, Tilda's like, yeah, well, I've met somebody, and we're happy. Well, she makes me happy. They're going to make a point to saying that. And it just comes all kosher, hey, whatever. And then we get this whole unraveling that Odessa was actually on the ship that...
And very
MK was
very strong awkwardness between her and MK, which I thought I don't know if she did it well or not, but
I was okay with it. I'm gonna tell you what creeped me out was seeing MK like with the black eyes and like they do a quick screenshot of when he was like on the boat.
They put a little emphasis on his veins around the eyes and stuff.
Creepy as hell. Yes. That was cool.
Good job to the special effects people.
They're really, really cool. And
his eyes were almost like green in the darkness.
They were.
It was impressive.
Was trippy.
Yeah.
Yes, it really, really was. When she's talking to Odessa, and they're having this conversation, she's like, hey, he's dark. You can watch out. Blah blah blah. And you see, to me, Tilda's like, well, yeah, that was a power, but it's gone. And she's like, oh no, he enjoyed what he was doing, and blah blah blah. So it kind of surprised me that she was so easily swayed that MK was a bad guy.
That who was?
That Tilda kind of...
Oh, I don't think Tilda was swayed that MK was a bad guy.
Well, you saw the scene later where he's waving at her in the window and she's like, and walks off.
I think that had something else to do with it. Like, I don't think she thinks MK's a bad guy.
Well, I think she's concerned.
I mean, I think she's definitely concerned, but I mean, it's also like Odessa's putting her in a position to where,
she doesn't
ultimatums.
Make a choice. So, I could see that. Well,
did you find it interesting that Odessa was alive on the ship?
Yeah, considering
he killed everybody and enjoyed it. And I mean, this was a very prominent scene. Back in season 1, the River King, this was his ship.
Right.
This is what he was talking about. So the fact that he didn't find Odessa, the fact that MK didn't find Odessa.
Yeah. Well,
she's got a special sneaky power. It's
funny you say that, and I'm going to throw a little fan thing in.
Oh, please do.
What's her name? Colin Foley. okay, had an awesome theory. And think about this. The River King is somebody who is a prominent character. We've seen a little bit. And we believe is going to become more of a prominent character in the future.
I would say season 3, he's going to be a very big player.
Well, we could even have him as another appearance in this next episode.
Easily doable.
She said, makes the assumption that what if Odessa is a spy for the River King?
I like it.
That's what I like.
I really like that theory.
I thought it was pretty damn strong.
Something I didn't think about, but it makes sense.
Yeah,
and it could play a very pivotal role coming up.
Yeah, I 100% agree.
Especially since, word's slowly trickling out that Sonny's back. So that's going to reach the River King, and he's not going to be happy.
Yeah, exactly. And like I said, I think he makes a really, really good point. I think he's really, really strong with that. I think that there's a lot of there that ties a lot of loose ends that we don't have to think, and that could be a great answer. So, great job, dude. Colin, I think that's right on the money.
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting to see. The only thing about Odessa is that I'm not sure. When he said that, it was like, all right, where are our true loyalties? Because she's been bounced around.
She has.
And so it's very curious to see how that's going to work out. So,
you don't really feel comfortable whenever she's around on screen.
No, you don't. You're absolutely right.
And they've done a very good job of painting that. So
yeah. Now, I will say what's cool about this set piece is when they're talking to Tilda is you notice that green wall back in the day when Tilda and Waldo were talking. That wall was beautiful green and it was gorgeous. And now it's kind of got this brown fall look, and like things were dying.
Ooh.
And so with that, and I was just kind of wondering if maybe this was something that was supposed to be like a mood setter or a set point for the episode,
or maybe just a different change in time.
Because the first time they were out there talking like that, things were on the upswing.
Yes.
Now this conversation with her and Odessa was on the downswing, and if there are changing set pieces to emulate the mood of the story moving on, it's impressive. And I noticed that in a few different places. It's just like when you go to Quinn's place and things are, dark and hard to watch like that. Think about the setting you're in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so it's kind of like life imitating nature and nature emulating life, and pretty cool effect. And I think it's kind of where it's going. If it's not, I'm still getting that vibe. So, hey,
I mean,
good job anyway.
If you're getting emotions out of us that you're not even trying or thinking about when you're doing it, then bravo.
Yeah.
More power to them.
Exactly. Speaking of Quinn, my man developed some ice cream.
Out of nowhere.
I'm calling bullshit.
Yeah.
I'm just straight calling bullshit. Considering that Vale sweats like she's somebody who robbed somebody and sitting in church, I'm just going to go ahead and put it out there that there is no way we've got this frosty, nice, smooth ice cream in some cups.
You never know. Maybe it's a 6th grade science experience. He's got the little soccer ball. They're kicking it around as they play.
No, calling straight BS. I just didn't.
I did tweet at Madeline. See if it really was that hot during filming. We have not got a response yet.
We're still waiting that response. What do you call it? One of the girls I email with, she just cracks me up, Christina. She tells me that, ever since we've talked about the sweating part, that every time she sees her, she just busts out laughing.
I mean, you can't help but notice.
I know.
Right? It's just reflecting back on you.
Is it sad that every time you see Vale on screen, you're like, where are the water drops?
Yeah.
Where the sweat beads? I mean, don't let me down here.
You just know.
I swear, if she's dry for 1 second and anywhere in Quinn's place, I'm calling straight BS.
Yeah, I'm not going to believe it.
Failed.
Yes.
There's no doubt. So,
but so I love that it's just plain vanilla ice cream. Yeah. At least it wasn't Neapolitan or something.
I swear this is bull crap. Man, I just need to see that ice cream. I was just like.
But would you have taken the ice cream from Quinn? I love Gabriel's hesitation in it.
Considering Homeboy got his first gulp first.
Yeah.
Quinn was eating first. I was happy to see that he was like, yeah, you take a sniff of that first, Now, what I did like about this scene is that Quinn's lines the stuff he does when I was your age, and what I was doing, that stuff. It's like reciting poetry.
He paints such a vivid picture.
He does, and and it's all when he speaks like this, it's all to a point of motivation or manipulation or all that kind of. Everything he says is like turning the keys on a clock, to keep it going. You know what I mean?
He doesn't waste a word. He puts you into his shoes.
Exactly.
And lets you kind of live through that. It's like,
he doesn't let you stray in your own imagination. He goes that. And so I was pleased. I always enjoy what they do with him. Even like when he has the scene with Lydia later at the diner bar and he's eating, you know what I mean? And he throws at her, I know what you do. I know what y'all say.
Yeah.
I already knew she was going to try to slice my throat and all that kind of stuff like that. I mean, like it's that manipulation, I knew what you were doing and I went ahead and did what I do anyway, And
I love how he changes his tone when he's using certain words.
Oh, yeah.
And just setting a different emotion.
Oh, there's no doubt. So he's got this bag with explosives to give this homeboy, and I can't remember this guy's name. And I hate that his character's come and gone already.
Gabriel. I think that's who it was.
And this is your eager young guy, do whatever. I'm still not at the point where I can say that this guy is mind washed enough to say, all right, I'm gonna pack bombs to my chest and do what the Baron asked me just to kill myself.
Yeah, that's a bit much.
When he had the bag of explosion, I was thinking, okay, he's going to take this bag
and he's set it up all throughout the house.
Set it somewhere and wreak havoc. The whole suicide bomber thing was not expected.
No.
And very cliche.
The way they could have made it work was if he just pushed the button. Didn't unzip the jacket, didn't do anything, just went ahead and blew it.
Yeah.
But outside of that,
when we get to that scene, there's some things that kind of bother me about it, but luckily the end result outweighs the start.
I mean, there were some mishaps in this episode, but the whole product overall was just so good. It's hard to be mad about anything.
Vale comes out, meets Quinn, and
we have a
slap attack. Slap.
Yep.
I'm going to give MVP to Vale drawing blood.
Back-to-back weeks.
Yeah. Well, just for this slapping. Acting wise, I'm not going down that road. We'll cast our MVP at the end of the episode. But Vale, I'm just saying that slap to slap, Quinn's a loser. I mean, he drew blood. It's pretty wuss sauce. I'm just gonna put it out there.
I mean, but it's going to be very hard on a TV show a guy to beat a girl to slap.
To me, if Quinn slaps somebody, she almost should be on the ground.
I mean, she should almost have a broken neck.
Instead, he takes it and takes it hard.
Yes.
And has to lick the blood off his own lip.
Which I think he enjoyed.
Maybe so.
Depending how we see. I mean, we saw how the man eats steak.
I think that he lost a little bit of cred in front of his guys there. He's like, well, it's just a marital spat. What a lovely line. Put her in the ventilation room, No. So.
I mean, I think he wanted it so he could put her there and just so he could keep Henry and just win overall.
Right. And right after this, we get Quinn, like I said, the scene with Lydia and, his all that stuff. And that was pretty freaking cool. And what do you think about Lydia taking, coming back and finding Quinn with the baby and then walking down there in the process of going to see Vale, sees the guy with all the explosives?
Hated it.
Well, here's the other problem I hate. How long does it take this son gun to open the door?
I mean, I heard about 15 different locks.
His keys were jingling. I'm talking about.
This, like you
the
hear
only thing missing was like Christmas music. Yes. How much jingling was going on.
I mean, it was like sundials for my 40 times. I was like, God. Jesus Christ.
I actually went and made dinner during the unlocking of the door.
I believe it.
And then Lydia just gets it's a stare fest while this guy
perfectly through this missing board.
I mean, I'm literally like. We literally just wasted 60 seconds to watch Lydia look through a door.
She turned her head like 4 times. Like, how many locks? Did I miscount? No, okay. I still got 15 minutes.
Yeah, let's just keep looking a little bit longer until you get caught gawking, I mean, really.
I mean, might as well have taken a picture.
I mean, really. Well, she could have pulled a canvas out and done a Rembrandt of the, this thing.
Poor Henry is starving to death here.
Yeah, he was crying his eyes out with Quinn down in there. She grabs him. what did she give him to make him quiet on the way over there to see Vale?
Nothing. He just ran out of breath to start. He cried.
Well, he was mesmerized by the bomb through the door as well, evidently. You know, or it could have been Lydia's rack that was partially exposed. Who knows? He's like, I'm almost home free.
You know, I'm either about to get dinner or I'm going to die a painless death. You know, win-win.
I'm going to die with a smile.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, so. This part right here, I was just like, you've got to be kidding me.
Yeah, not good.
You've got to be kidding me. So
then we get a strong Lydia and Vale scene.
We do get the emotional, the teary. We're gonna be all right. We got to make our own plan. We got to get out of here now.
We can't count on Sonny anymore. I know we talked about it. We're gonna wait on Sonny.
He's a great warrior and all, but we got to drop that dead weight and move on.
I just saw 47 explosives get put onto a wall. So
well, I just spent the last hour watching the explosives get put together part by part. I could basically build one now, after watching this.
And also, I'm a Rubik's Cube master. Yeah. Had enough time to master that. Don't worry.
Yeah. So, I do, like I said, it was good emotion. I think the whole scene was strong. I do agree with the assessment. Don't wait.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I have no faith in them getting out, but I do agree with the assessment of don't wait.
Considering that Vale,
is the worst escape artist in history.
Wow. Yes. And, she better make sure Henry is well fed and snoozing before she takes off on her, 6 mile an hour sprint, through the woods. And she better quit looking up at the trees when she does it this time. Okay?
Don't look behind you. Don't do anything. Yeah. Look straight ahead.
Just keep moving. Run. Just keep moving. All right. So we cut back over to the widow's part. We get Sonny, and he's looking at this map, and Waldo appears. Another guy who has great lines and so on. And they talk about the lack of, or should I say, the craziness of the plan ahead and everything else, which the plan has never really been unfolded to the viewer. They kind of give you some idea a little bit, but not so much detail.
No plan has ever been revealed to us.
Yeah.
Which I think is really good because, it
gives the viewer a surprise.
Yes.
It's not like, it's just like when you watch Braveheart. You see them making preparations, but they don't tell you what's going to happen. And when it happens, you're like, oh, that's freaking awesome.
Yep. I feel like this show is like if Littlefinger was making a show, this is how it would go down. Like we get little pieces here and there, but we never know what the end game is.
The little God reference in there, didn't you?
Yeah.
Wow. Baelish himself?
King Baelish himself.
King Baelish.
Oh, he'll be king of something by the end of the show.
I don't know. Maybe by the end of the show he's neutered and hanging and be drawn and quartered. Who knows?
That'd be sad. That'd be sad times.
I agree. So, him and Waldo's like...
Have a nice little discussion, rehashing memories.
You made the mistake of letting your emotions get in. And he's like, well, emotions have got me where I'm going, and so on and so on. And he's like, yeah, okay. And he's like, well, I'm going to the armory. And he's like, well, don't bother. Just go by my shed. That's where it's all goodies.
Yes.
And stuff. And at that moment, I was cool with this. I was like, all right, we're going to get to see Waldo's place and like that. What I was not planning on understanding, which made me sad later, is that the whole reason that we said anything about the shed was because we were going to get betrayed later.
Yep.
You know what I mean? That kind of like...
They did a good job Waldo's of changing the order in the back. It was like...
Yeah, well, it's just kind of... I don't know. Initially I was like, oh, that's cool. We'll get to see Waldo. And then later on you realize that, like I said, the widow does what she does. And you're like, okay, well, now it's a necessity that he was told that.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's... oh, here's the fortune cookie. What's going to happen later?
But I do like that we see Waldo is able to stay faithful to a side that he chooses.
Yeah, I think so. But he's also saying like, well, farewell, loser, you're going to die.
Yes. That part does suck. But the part that I don't like about it is, out of all people, why is he underestimating Sonny?
I think, like he said, I've turned into not so much an opportunist, but I know when to fight the good fight and when to roll on.
Yes.
No pun intended. And that's the reason he's still alive, because of adaptability.
And I 100% agree with that. 100%. But I don't like that there's only 3 people trying to take out Sonny or something.
Well, here's the other thing is that I hate to say it, as much as I love Waldo, it's almost like a speech of, well, I've turned into a coward when I need to be.
Well, the man's in a wheelchair. There's only...
Yeah, well, if you remember an episode a few weeks back, he was like a Charlie's Angel on the stage, taking folks out with a chain and knife.
Look, all well and fair. But if Sonny's coming after you, I don't want to be in a wheelchair.
Well, the bottom line is Sonny's coming after you. You know, it doesn't matter where you are. You might as well drink your last pina colada and soak in the beach while you can, because otherwise you're about to get the blades. But anyway, you know, so he goes out.
I just wish he would have sent more people, more well-versed people. You know, I mean, that's something you put Tilda on, even though you can't really trust Tilda. But
right,
yeah, I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's like you train this person. You know he can handle 3 people with his eyes closed and 2 hands tied behind his back.
Right.
And now he's got a weapon.
Right.
It just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, I know. And then we start to see the little bit of the unraveling of the widow when she's having to explain herself that her intentions are pure and all that good gobby stuff. And then we get the scene where the new refugees show up. And this is where Gabriel shows up.
Yes.
Now, I went back and watched this again because I was like, okay, well, he doesn't come out of the truck with a bag. So I immediately think, all right, you know, so it's on him. You know, this is evidently, like we said, a suicide bomb vice like that. And so I looked at the scene a bunch, and you know, I really couldn't tell that he had anything on. You know what I mean? Because
no, he didn't look bloated or anything. Like, I mean, it almost looked like a skin tight jacket.
It really did. And like later on, you see him, and he's got like a vest on, and you can see it and tell it. And, you know, it's obvious.
Yeah, I mean, like the TNT is like 3 stacked and it's pointed out, and it's just
like it makes his chest look enormous. And then when you go back to that scene when he gets off that, you know, that he didn't have anything like that. And
no, it's like it was a fashionable jacket, and
so it was a little off for me. You know, that I wish that it's not like he disassembled it and put it back together.
No.
You know what I mean? The bottom line is this thing was ready to go. You know what I mean? And so I was a little disappointed that was a little off, you know. To me, just have that jacket back buttoned up and be a little bit thicker than you look, you know. So whatever. But we get to the part where Sonny and them are in their armory and they're talking. Cool ass armory, by the way. The widow and them are stocking up on. And then we see the screaming outside, and Gabriel's got one of the butterflies out there, and he's like, "Show yourself, widow," and all that good stuff. I was pleasantly surprised that he just went ahead and just greased her.
Yes.
It wasn't a lot of conversation, not a lot of negotiation.
Give the classic, I'll do exactly what you say as I slit their throat and blood goes everywhere.
I mean, just, you know, filleted her right there, which was like, holy crap. And, you know, and then, of course, like you said, you see the widow just ninja star him almost immediately.
You know, somehow missing the dynamite and everything.
Well, here's the other part of that too. Every time you see somebody get hit with a ninja star, I was thinking about the last several episodes. Where did they get hit?
In the chest or in the back?
Well, a lot of head wounds.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You know, there's been a lot of head wounds, and I was kind of like surprised they made it where it was kind of a chest shot. But of course, you need him to live. You don't need him to take it in the eye and just fall dead. And you need the bomb to go off. You know.
Oh, that's true.
For the effect, you know.
But I mean, is there anywhere that you're going to take a ninja star and not click that button?
Yeah. Well, I mean, let's be honest with you. Ninja star, it's only got a sharp edge on one side that's at best 2 inches deep.
Yeah.
And so even if it's stuck all the way in you, I mean, you could look at it and be like, really? I mean, really? That hurts, you know?
Right.
But then he had that massive vest on. So, I mean, we're talking maybe an inch of penetration. I mean, wow, that sounds terrible.
Yeah.
So it's not really anything close to death unless it hits a main artery in the throat, neck, you know.
Which in still case you're going to be conscious enough, I believe, to still punch a button.
Right. So would it have been cooler if it hits him in the neck and he starts to bleed and you see him lift his finger up, his hand, and then lift the thumb, and then it goes off instead of the speech?
Or like as he's like gurgling and everything and it just like accidentally hits the button.
Yeah, or something.
Not giving people enough time to run away.
I think it could have been a little bit cooler. I think it was kind of almost cliche that they did the whole...
It wasn't almost cliche. It was cliche.
Yeah, I mean...
It was just the explosion and the effects of this explosion and you seeing the people blow up again saves it so much.
Exactly. You know, it's second I'm like, no speech. Ba-boom.
And I'm like,
hell yeah.
Yes. You know, and it changed to like almost black and white. And
oh, dude. Well, just... they. Really, 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 really kudos to your special effects team that is making these people fly back, do what they're doing in slow-mo.
Bravo to the stunt men and women willing to put their bodies on the line for this.
No doubt. You know, I like that you see the main characters hitting the walls. Yep. I like you see Tilda and Widow and all them thrown everywhere. I thought that was pretty sweet. You know, and all this happens, you know, the explosion goes off right after the Widow is the big secret's out.
Yeah.
I traded Vale. You know, and Sonny has that look of,
do you like
you
that?
did what, bitch? You know?
I mean, it was just like the immediate stink eye, like, we need to talk about this?
Well, here's the other thing here is that, okay, let's be honest here. So, the Widow traded Vale as a negotiation to work with Quinn. After that, Sonny surprises the Widow in an ambush.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? But they decide to join forces because she says she knows where Vale is. She's not lying.
No.
She gets back, okay, and then it's found out in this situation, heat of the moment, by the way, I actually traded Vale. But it was before I knew you were even around or alive. To me, this is not like the ultimate treason. This is not the ultimate betrayal.
And she had a good reason.
At the time, it's what you had to make the best decision of what you got.
Not only that, but Vale did try to kill her. Like, I mean, that's a legitimate.
And so for you to suddenly make the assumption that, okay, now the explosion goes off and you're going to pull this ninja star out and just fling it at him like you got to kill him now.
Yeah.
I call total BS on this.
Well, especially since you're just going to, your initial thing could be, why believe Quinn?
Well, yeah, I mean, this.
I mean, like, immediately, she doesn't even have to cop to it being true. She can just be like, Quinn's a liar? Why do we want to believe him?
Well, I mean, she has those lines like, well, she's just trying to drive a wedge between us. You know, they're just trying to do this, that, so on. You know, like that. Sonny is an articulate person. I mean, you could be able to talk to the guy.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Instead, you throw a ninja star at him.
And you paint guilt.
And I'm just like, that right there brought down the explosion for me. As much as I was like, holy crap, the explosion's awesome. How about the special effects of the horse that was maimed on the ground? There was people in chunks. There was, let me tell you what they did to this one. There was not people over there that were just like flawlessly untouched with dirt on them.
No, everybody.
It's almost like they listened to our podcast with the last one and made sure everybody.
It's not like they listened. You know, they went back.
They did.
Yeah, they re-edited it after it was already done and stuff. They're like, oh,
shit. I don't want to listen to Zach and Cash barbecue us again.
Yeah, we can't get roasted again, guys.
You know? But yeah, I mean, like, so all that was super, super cool. But then the second she threw the ninja star, I'm like, what the I was like, you just really sealed the deal of betraying a very worthy adversary / now. Well, this is somebody who was an ally. You just created a nasty adversary who was actually after Quinn more than you. I just I thought this was bad move after bad move, and don't really understand that it was even at that point.
I never felt like it was at the point, like you said, and also like you said, she just angered one of the only two people who's ever bested her in battle that we've seen, which is Quinn, who has dominated her in every single fight, and then Sonny, who has beaten her. Yeah, and it's just like, why?
This was
is a bad political move.
I don't think it was justified. I think that's what bothers me more than anything. You know what I mean? If there was some more substance to it that made sense for it, I'd have been happy with it. You know what I mean? And don't tell me this is the reason Tilda decided to turn coat later because she made this bad decision. I just think it was an all around oops.
I think that there was more than Tilda. I think MK is part of the problem with Tilda.
Yes, I agree.
And so I think she was going to turn anyway for that. But I do think that they flubbed with Widow because, like you said, Sonny's very articulate. You know, it's easy to, sit down, talk, and be like, look, we didn't have an alliance. We all thought you were dead. She tried to kill me, and I needed Quinn.
Yeah.
I mean, it's as simple as that.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. So, of course, we have this really cool scene of Sonny escaping, a couple fight things. He's surrounded by 5 guys. Doesn't even pull a sword.
No.
And takes care of business.
He leaves the door open to come back to Widow and be like, look, I didn't kill any of your men.
I don't think that's anywhere.
I don't think it's going to, but I mean, it left that possibility open. Now I know people will say, yes, somebody died. But you know what? Her own people killed that person.
That's true. I mean, he did he did break one dude's neck, and then he lifted another one up and took several bolts.
Yeah,
face,
but
chest.
He didn't fire the bolts.
Well, yeah, okay.
He
put him in harm's way.
Okay,
That
that's
ship
fair.
has sailed.
That was fair, but he was only put in harm's way because somebody decided to shoot at him.
I agree. Cool. He jumping off the wall, doing the whole Mario super jump up to the seal, to the roof.
Oh, so you went Mario. It's a little bit later, so I went Ninja Gaiden.
You could do Ninja Gaiden, or you could even do
Prince of Persia,
Metroid. There's a couple of them. Now, if he was doing spinning, going back and forth, then we could have Metroid. But yeah, we're right there. So it gets over the wall. You got a guy who's right on him, and then Bajie again saves him with the blade from a distance.
I mean, this is a heck of a sword throw.
It is that right into the face.
Yep. Beautiful.
Which is a great location.
Yeah.
Great location.
Widow, aim for the face.
Yeah, really.
Just do it.
Yeah. Well, she did for Sunny and failed.
Yes.
But anyway.
We did. Of course, we did kind of miss that.
Yeah,
she threw a butterfly at Sunny, and
that is correct.
Just got the cheek.
So of course Bajie, tired of saving, you're behind, and blah blah blah. And then Sunny's gone, and he's like, okay, now I go save MK.
I understand why Sunny was in such a rush and everything, but I wish we would have let Bajie speak here. Like, take away the 5 minutes at the beginning of the episode for him breaking in, put it right here.
Yeah, do a little bit more with this. I know we had the whole, you give me the the paper clip or whatever it was, and
because I feel like Bajie was actually going to say something that built more trust between them and was actually going to matter.
I agree.
I feel like he was wanting to actually spill something important.
I 100% agree. 100%. Bajie goes inside, all of a sudden just appears right there by the explosion, grabs MK. He gives him the same speech in the horse barn. Hey, we're meant. Let's go get the book, which wasn't part of the original plan, and everything like that.
I have the compass.
Yeah, all that stuff, which is all good. Of course, like I said, they've turned Bajie into something I'm not really caring for with the whole, I'm giving the same speech I gave Minerva, the flea, whatever like that. But what really killed the scene is Odessa happens to be right there watching it. I was like, please do not. This is the third major cliche of the episode.
And
the third one.
Another one with her.
Yes.
And I mean, that's what I was like saying. Like, she has a superpower of being super sneaky. She's like the butler from Mr. Deeds.
Yeah, I just don't. There's been an explosion outside, and the girl you're in love with or having problems with is out there tending to wounded, and there's people out there, and you're hanging in the horse barn
for no reason.
If you want to save this scene, show her see Bajie sneaking in.
Yes.
And following him to the barn. Throw that 5 seconds into the episode.
Don't have her just randomly hiding behind boxes in the barn.
This is not a reveal.
No.
This is not like, no, this is, are you kidding me moment?
Yeah.
Instead of a...
We've never seen any meetings take place in this barn. We've never seen like
it's the secret layer.
Yeah, like we've never even seen this thing. And so you're just going to randomly be hiding out and be like, oh, huh.
Yeah.
Good thing I was here.
Yeah, it was just like, what? No.
Didn't like it one bit.
I didn't at all. So then this leads to where my favorite part of the episode is that Bajie and them go inside to find the book, and it's not where it was because, of course, we could predict that Odessa let the widow know, and the widow's waiting on him. And this is where Bajie, Nick Frost actually looks like he's about to shit his britches.
He didn't look like he was... He didn't seem like the same person who was on the outside. It's like, I'm coming for you, Minerva. This was like, you weren't supposed to find me.
Yeah, that's the other thing, too, is that before he sneaks into the place with his BS story at the gate, he's like, I'm here for you.
Yeah.
I'm coming for you. And it was in a motherly tone or fatherly tone or in a caring tone. And then this situation is like, let's get the book and scram.
Mm-hmm.
This did not match his motivation of what this book was, the story of the character and where the arc was going.
And that's what I was asking at the beginning. Like, did you like his grand master scheme after it was all revealed?
Absolutely not. I think it was a complete flub. That's why I say Bajie this episode would be your go ride the bench character.
Yeah, he really could have, which is sad.
Yeah, because he's one of my favorites, and he's an element that's needed for the show, is that, for what they show you in the beginning, his deal is I got to get to the widow privately so I've found the person I said that I would find, and make up for that time because he said I would find you. And instead, it's like, don't catch me. I'm coming to get the book.
Yeah.
And I'm just
didn't like it one bit.
Yeah, that really bothered me. It really bothered me. His entire episode bothered me, to be honest with you. Everything he was a part of.
And I didn't like that she wasn't surprised. Now, I know...
Yeah, you haven't seen this guy in forever. 20 years,
Yeah.
I'm guessing? Close to it?
Well, probably not 20 years. Probably about 10 years, I would say.
And then she drops the bombshell of, well, watch out, kid. He'll just abandon you. But he's told a story of that, it's like he told her to run.
Yeah.
And he
she
would
got
find
away.
her. It's like...
So I'm
I
excited.
feel like that's like Last of the Mohicans or something like that. Run, I'll find you. Wherever you go, I'll find you.
And I
I'm
mean,
like,
at the beginning of the episode, that's what we were led to believe. Is I'm coming for you. It's like, oh, I found you.
Well, you show us this scene where he's fatherly to the girl.
Yeah.
And then you show us this where he doesn't even give a rat's ass, and now let's just get the book and scram.
It's very confusing.
Very confusing. Very whatever. You could say, all right, well, maybe he's just an opportunist and this one. I'm like, I'm sorry. If you've been looking for a girl for 20 years and it's been a burden on your conscience, you just don't throw the deuces when you find her.
And you just found her.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Whatever.
And so I would be... We're going to find out at the beginning of the episode next week, I think, exactly what happened.
There's no doubt. And of course, so this leads to the Tilda Wildo showdown.
Wildo? Are we combining Waldo and Widow now?
That's correct.
I like it.
Yeah.
We're giving his mind with her fighting.
Got me there. Anyway, so my girl Tilda comes down with this amazing looking outfit, by the way.
Yes.
So props to freaking costume design again. This guy, man.
I mean, Giovanni, he is a mastermind when it comes to this stuff.
You talking about looking good and kicking ass all day. So they come down, and of course, some words are spread, and they're hateful.
I applaud Tilda for coming in with the venom and doubling down on it. The widow's like, choose your words wisely.
Yeah, your next words very carefully.
And she doubled down. I love when somebody doubles down on it.
There is no doubt. At least a snake gives you a warning before it bites. Homegirl bit. And so it leads to a pretty cool hand-to-hand combat. Tilda's able to get some in. Widow has a little more death-defying, blows here and there.
Well, the only problem I had with this was the entire time I was thinking was no one else has trained Tilda. You can never fight your master unless you've gotten the sprinkling from somebody else.
Yeah, there's got to be some element to your
that they don't
ability
know.
that they don't have.
Yeah, because she knows everything that you're going to do.
She needed at least a month with Miyagi.
Yes.
You know what I mean? She needed that moment. She needed wax on, wax off on one of those cars out there and swing past the hook or do something. But anyway, and which was evident. You saw all that. A lot of her, and so, like I said, it was back and forth, which was really, really cool. They shared licks. And then you get to the part where they are even on the stairs, and there's a couple blows where she draws the widow's blood pretty good. And I'm not talking a little blood. I'm talking like the widow spits up like a nice half a cup of grape juice.
And I was like, okay, let's go, widow.
And
that's where, but that part was after Tilda realized she was fighting for her life and got a little bit of anger. Yeah. That was a little bit of the unexpected thing that the widow hasn't seen yet, and that's why she was.
The emotion was attached. It wasn't all cunning and skill. It was, I truly am trying to hurt you.
Yes, like now I'm fighting for my life. This isn't like I'm not using any of the moves you taught me or anything.
I love that the widow pulls the sword out and goes, "Don't start something you're not prepared to finish." And one of the best lines of the entire series in my mind. This was great,
and it even worked when Tilda used it later in the episode.
Absolutely. So great scenes. There's fighting, stuff like that. Tilda takes a pretty bad
nasty
wound
tumble
to the arm and tumble and so on.
And this is where I lose a little bit of respect for the fight.
Why is this?
A freaking chandelier comes down from like 60 feet in the sky.
I'm gonna be honest with you. When she hit that chandelier, I thought we were about to see Tilda get impaled.
Yeah,
we
should have.
I was like, holy crap, we're about to watch her take
Tilda's
it through
dead. Yeah.
And then I was like, and it lands on her, I was like, no. And then she started moving, and I was like, no.
I was
No. Back up, rewind,
that
fix
hits her
scene.
At best, and I mean at freaking best, she's next to Waldo in a wheelchair. Her spine, this lands directly on her spine.
I'm with you.
I mean,
let me put it this way. I do not want Tilda dead as a character.
No.
I think she's a phenomenal actress, and
I think she's
love
getting
her
better
character.
every episode.
And so when she hit this chandelier, it was a catch-22 for me. I was like, this is about being one of the awesomest death scenes of a character that you did not expect ever. And holy crap, I'm finna just go freaking fanboy right here. Because I've been fanboy a little bit on this, because there's a lot on this like that. Turned into a...
immediate hatred. Like, just have her dodge it.
Yeah.
Have her do a cool flip, get out of the way, roll.
A little bit of a rollover or something, instead of her actually being able to look up and see it coming down on her.
Yeah. Have MK
Because if you're able to see something coming,
you can move.
You have shown the reflexes to be able to move 6 inches at the way to let it, come on.
Because, like, I mean, if you're just hit by one of the bars on the side, okay. Like, you live, you got some glass.
I'm with you. The fight scene was epic until the chandelier. And it's one of those things where they painted themselves in a corner. If you're going to do the chandelier, then it needs to be a nasty wound. Or, I tell you what, make it where it falls, but it goes through her leg.
Yeah.
Have
it miss her. Have it anything.
Yeah, well, just, like, it goes right through her thigh, like Game of Thrones style.
Ooh.
You know what I'm talking about? We're like, awesome battle, but this is what stops the battle from me killing you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm just thinking of Monty Python now that you said a mortal wound or something. It's just like, it's just a flesh wound.
It's only a flesh wound. I'll nail you to death.
And I mean, that's what this ended up being. It was just like, it's just a flesh wound. It's okay.
Exactly. So Tilda gets up from her concussion with the chandelier, and she looks pretty rough.
Yeah, I will give them credit. She looks like a chandelier just fell on top of her.
She looks the part. She's looked the part. I mean, this arm wound is pretty severe considering the amount of blood coming out of it. She's got blood everywhere, so it's looking everything like it's supposed to. And she's like, do it. Now, earlier in the episode, we saw her have these little daggers on her thighs, and I was like, oh my Lord, are we about to take a blade to the temple? Are we about to really do this? And instead, we get this amazing aerial kick.
I don't even know what she did.
I'll be honest with you. Her black outfit spun around, and all I saw a heel.
Yeah, I just kept rewinding this, and I'm mesmerized the entire time. I'm like, wait, Tilda's on the ground already? What happened? Like, let me rewind again.
I mean, the only thing missing was the old 60s Batman kapow right there beside it.
How great would it have been if we was to see kaboom, kapow, whammy. It's just
bright green, bright pink, But yeah, I mean, that was the only thing. And so there's so many people on social media who are like, I can't believe they killed Tilda. I'm like, wake up, people.
Yeah.
She's not dead.
If she didn't die by the chandelier.
If the chandelier didn't kill her. The kick to the face didn't kill her.
The broken neck didn't do the job, I promise.
I mean, let's be honest. It's not like you heard her get hit with a boot and you heard, her neck. Then it would have been her head would have spun around like a top on her shoulders. You know what I mean? Like she's looking at you laying down. You know what I mean?
Oh, God.
So she's not dead, people.
No.
Okay? This was purely cliffhanger. That's why when you watch the preview, Waldo's like, I sure hope she's alive wherever she is, and all that kind of stuff.
I think this was a way to let MK take her.
Very possible. Well, if anything, you've killed off barons, other people who are formidable foes, and now you've possibly created another one.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Because now here we're going to get the training with a different person, a.k.a. Sunny, that she needs.
Yeah. How about the widow's look at the camera at the end?
I loved it.
I absolutely freaking love it. This is when I was going fanboy.
Mm-hmm.
It's like she just kicked the shit out of her, knocked her to the ground, and people are probably going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
And most people would just have like a walk away, like you don't
instead,
look back.
She gives you that quick look at the camera, and I'm talking about there are several hundreds of thousands of men. They got an immediate boner right then and there.
Immediately.
It was just like, wife, don't look my way. Okay, Emily Beecham has just done it for me. You just saw a badass chick fight, and then she looked at me in the camera.
Broke the fourth wall, and I was just in love.
She was looking at me.
Yeah. I mean, she wasn't looking at you because she was thinking about me, but like I understand what you were feeling.
I'm just got to put it out there. So, I mean, that's right there is that scratch the chandelier a little bit because they paint themselves in the corner. Could be one of my favorite fight scenes of the entire series. Could be.
It's definitely up there, especially since
it's a top 3.
You don't get many one-on-ones in this
that are
show.
this worthy.
Yes.
that are this worthy. I mean, I remember season 1 when Quinn came in and fought the widow in the house. You know what I mean? And that was freaking awesome.
That was one of the few times, I think that was like the first introduction to Quinn's fighting style, which was so different to everybody else.
It was so brutal. Like, it was not so elegant. It was just like, I'm going to take this giant sword and I'm going to go through four pieces of furniture when it comes at you.
Yeah.
And when you do defend it, you're going to take 4 feet of slide back from the amount of force.
As soon as you try to, like you said, block this, you're skidding all the way back.
Exactly.
It's
so it's just a completely different dynamic, and
that's why I think the true, like, Sonny versus Quinn one-on-one battle, I'm going to hate it because I know we're going to lose one of them. But that fight scene is going to be... It's going to be the top of this show.
Well, the only thing about that is that is going to be epic, but it's going to be expected.
Yes.
This Tilda and Widow was not expected.
But I knew the Widow was going to win. Which was... But it didn't take away from the fight scene, which is weird.
I can give you that. But it's just like a Sonny and Quinn fight. Unless there's a third variable, then the outcome is pretty predestined.
Yeah, it's going to be Sonny.
You know what I'm saying? That's the whole deal. Like, the Widow could have been bested if a third party intervened.
Like if MK comes out of nowhere.
Yeah, and does something to stun her, and then Tilda's able to incapacitate her, or whatever you want to call it. But where does the story go from there? You know what I mean? So it's not, like you said, we knew where this was going. Mm-hmm. How cool could we make it to get there? Phenomenal job.
They did
a phenomenal job.
Like a 9.7.
Yeah, phenomenal. Yeah. Take the chandelier out.
Yeah, I mean, it's perfect.
Or just make that chandelier, impale her leg.
Yes.
Where she's incapacitated for a while. And guess what? We got a whole off season for her to heal up.
Yeah,
whatever happens.
We skipped 7 months ahead, guys. Like, no worries.
We could do this. We're talking 20 years difference a minute ago. I mean, come on. And so there you go. It rolls credits.
No worries. But I mean, that's the episode.
That is the episode. And like I said, I was fanboying a lot of it. When I watch it your second time and you're looking at it and you're like, oh my God, there's a spot or two that could have been so much better if they'd done this, this, and this, or leave this part out, or quit making Bajie look confused, about what his real motives are and where he's going, or are we like him, don't like him, or whatever. Those are the things that were bothersome about the episode. The funny thing is that minus Odessa being in the barn, and a couple little cheese here and there, like in the bad acting part of it, there really wasn't like per se errors in the episode to me. Like we've had some in the past, but this one, like I would just, like I said, the chandelier was, I wish they had done differently because it was less impactful. The Odessa in the barn was like,
that was just a major flop.
And then, like I said,
if she ends up being the River King's spy or daughter or something, I'm going to completely forget about this barn.
Still doesn't explain how she got in the barn. No. The whole cliche thing. So other than that, a few cliches, a few things that need a better explanation, a few things of, hey, pull this out and this episode's better. Freaking cool. Amazing special effects.
Yes.
Amazing fight scenes.
Great wardrobe and costume design.
One, complete twists on who you think alliances are with now. Mm-hmm. Completely blows out where the story you thought was going. And now we only have one episode.
We could get a Mexican standoff by the end of, Widow, Quinn, and Sonny.
That was very similar to what happened last year, and it better not happen again.
Oh, between Abbott, Sonny, and Quinn.
Well, remember, Widow got mortally wounded. Mm-hmm. Quinn gets what we thought killed. The Abbotts whip his ass, and that's how the story ends. It was, like a 3-way battle.
That's very true.
Got to shake it up.
I mean, we could just add a fourth and, just throw the Abbotts back in there.
Yeah.
Or Bajie, the great. I don't know. I'm very excited. How do you think it's going to end? Give us one of those A1 predictions.
I think they've got to do something that leads the story to Azra. I don't think the story is going to be all about Sonny and Quinn. It's going to be a huge focus of it. Mm-hmm. But I really feel like Azra's got to play a role somehow.
Instead of just being a name?
Yes. I'll be honest with you, I've been logging for it because you think about it. We've talked about the Azra thing 4 episodes this year. Mm-hmm. And we've gotten no closer, no deciphering of the book, no nothing.
Still don't even know if it's real.
All that kind of stuff. And so they need to give us something that says the quest for Azra is about to become real.
Yeah.
And that could be as simple as, like, at the end of the scene, the book is taken over to, what do you call it, Lydia's people, and if one of them happens to be able to read it.
Or Bajie could be able to read it.
Yeah, well, I don't think he can. That's the whole deal.
We
I don't think
yeah.
so. But I think that could be something like, oh, I know what this says. And then that could be like, dun, 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 for next, the next year,
I would hate that, but I would be okay with it just because it's leading us towards Azura.
Right, yeah. There needs to be a cool way to show something.
To
Or,
them.
where, what is it? Is it the Rosetta Stone or something like that, where like you can find something that helps you translate this book? That could be like, say there's another piece of the puzzle.
But we have no indication that there is another piece of the puzzle.
I am with you. I'm just trying to think of something other than, oh, by the way, I can read that.
Maybe the Abbotts can read it.
Yeah, maybe so.
I mean, I don't know. Well, no, because then Emily Beecham would be able to read it, so that doesn't make any sense. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know either. I don't know. There's got to be a cool way to
Yes.
sprinkle it in there, and I think it needs it by the end of the next episode to make Azra a player for the following season. Or it could be just too much. But you both know, okay, we did the whole Quinn should have been dead at the end of the first season, and he came back second season. We haven't even touched the cancer or the tumor or anything again. We haven't seen him have a headache. We haven't seen him anything. We haven't seen Quinn's right-hand man. We haven't seen a lot of things.
I think we saw him like in the shadows this episode.
No,
but
he was not
I
there.
could have sworn I saw him like in the middle of the shadows with a bunch of people.
If they don't explain what happened to him or where he is, I'm going to be pissed.
Because we gave him such a massive part, and I've been looking for him. And I think I might have sighted a ghost of him.
Yeah. So, I mean, you look at that, it's just like, come on. Continuity there. Y'all do so good. Where's his henchman? Where's his guy who said, you better keep him alive, Vale, or else? You know what I mean? Why put him in those positions and then just make him disappear?
You got me. I mean, I've really got no idea.
Exactly. Also, there's one Baron we haven't addressed.
Which one?
We've got Chubby Knuckle down.
Mm-hmm.
We've got the Sheep Master. He's dead and stuff. Chow, we've visited, and you see her situation. But how about the long guy with the staff that turns into swords and everything else? Where is his demise?
That was the guy we saw at the beginning. That's who Widow took care of, isn't it?
No. That's the guy who was making the sheets. He was,
Oh, yeah.
We're looking for the guy who looks like an Italian, or whatever. So
I think Quinn took care of two.
Maybe so. We only got to see Chubby Knuckles' head. So disappointing.
I feel like they said Quinn took care of two. I could be wrong.
I don't know. It looked like he took care of Chubby Knuckle and his entire family.
Yes.
So
no, I mean, his entire family is definitely.
In his custom-made boxes for heads.
Yes. Like you said, I wish we would have seen all their heads, but
yeah, you can only do so much Game of Thrones and AOC. There we go. Guys, what did y'all think of the episode? Did y'all agree with our assessments, or were we off, or we complete douchebags, whatever you want to call it? Let us know. We love to chatter. We've got several comments like that. It's crazy is that we all think very similar when it comes to a lot of these comments.
Yeah, there hasn't been much deviation outside of Jake's crackpot theory that
really.
tagged
I
along
can't help
with.
if he was on the opium pipe like Quinn, but yeah, I mean, I swear, everybody we talk to, and it's like everybody concurs. It's not like The Walking Dead where people are just like all over the map, and how dare you talk about my blessed Walking Dead.
Don't talk about my favorite character.
Yeah,
like
really.
That.
He was an amazing actor, deserves an Academy. I'm like, have you lost your mind?
Are you sure?
Go wash his hair. And so if you got some comments or thoughts, or think we're completely off base, or if you have a cool ass theory,
let us know who you think ends up together by the end of the season. Like, is MK and Sonny together? Does Sonny get Vale back? Let us know what y'all think.
Really, does the story move along if they're family again?
Ooh.
I mean, think about it. Really think about it. Like, he's got no purpose other than I got my wife and kid. It's time to go live the.
Well, maybe they get together, and that's how we get Azra. Is he thinks it's the escape for him?
Maybe so. Well, that's very possible. I don't see him giving his family and becoming the moon.
No.
You saw what happened to his family.
Yes.
So, very curious to see where it's going to go, and not knowing or not even having close to a clue is fun.
It really is. It gives me something to look forward to.
Absolutely. There's no doubt. But other than that, guys, like I said, one of my favorite episodes this season. Really, really enjoyed it. Like I said, a few things here and there, but they did not take away from the overall love of the episode. And
I'm excited and ready for Sunday, which is the most important thing.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Now, if you are listening to us from the Badlands, after Sunday, we will be taking a brief hiatus because the next show we cover is one of my faves, which is actually towards the end of June, and that is Preacher.
Yes. It came out guns blazing. I mean, I've been seeing Seth Rogen do a lot of promos for Preacher and everything.
Yeah. I'm going to tell you right now, people, if you did not watch Preacher Season 1, I need to prepare you.
Yes.
Okay? It is not normal TV. It is very... What's the best way to put this? If you've ever watched Fargo or the TV series Fargo, where they take really cool, interesting character actors and put them in an array to make a story around it, and then multiply it by the weirdness by 3, then you get close to what Preacher is.
Pretty much. I mean,
that is the best way I can go about it because... I mean, we're talking about a bad guy in Preacher who enjoys listening to cows getting slaughtered via radio. We're talking about...
And not only enjoys listening to it, he makes you listen to it for an awkward amount of time.
We're also talking about a boy who tries to commit suicide and blows his face off the shotgun and has reconstructive surgery to where his face looks like an ass.
Or an arse.
Whatever you call it. The anus off your face.
We have angels who die in a different way in almost every episode.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just telling you now, it is on out there, but in the coolest way.
Yes.
I mean...
The sound effects they use,
just the way they set up episodes, I mean, there's some really cool... There's a lot of cool one-liners. It's just, every character is so unique. It's one of those things where you got to give it a shot for a few episodes, and either you're going to love it or you're just going to be scratching your head going, what in the Sam hell have I watched? But we really enjoyed it. It has some really cool stuff going on. It really throws you for a loop with some of the storylines they do, and they intertwine with different people, and I think you really like it. So, like I said, when End of the Badlands wraps up, we'll be off for a little while, unless Netflix comes out with something I want to pod. But we'll pick up back in June with The Preacher. But other than that, guys, as always, we love Into the Badlands. We're looking forward to season finale. This is Bleed TV, and I'm Zach.
And I'm Cash.
We'll see y'all next week.